Hey everybody, Tim here from Workshop 12 and wanted to give everybody just some quick updates on the projects that are going on. I find videos are a great quick way to be able to give everybody some insights into what's happening here at our company. So the Nissan 350Z Mark II kits are in full production. As we're getting orders, we're sending those orders to Shapeways for the front face plates. We're working on everything that we need to ourselves. So everything's in full production there. Unfortunately, Shapeways takes 3 to 4 weeks to be able to produce some of the different plastics to be able to get it back to us. We're trying to order a few extra here and there to see if we can eventually get ahead of the manufacturing and predict what people are going to purchase. We'll see how that goes, but we're in full scale production there. For the Mark II kits for the 370Z and the FRS pre-orders, we have a couple small adjustments that we need to do there. So we'd originally planned this weekend for to be able to do some test fitting in some vehicles. We had a couple of members of the community that agreed to bring their cars in so we can do some final test fitting. Last minute before we had them come in, we found that we still had some different fit and tolerance issues with the tablet and the magnets in those models. So we need to make some updates there before we did test fitting. So some background behind that is essentially the way that we 3D print and create those plastics for holding things is a little bit different than Shapeways does. And there's different things that can happen for those tablets to be able to move and twist or have some different tolerances in those. So our 3D model hadn't taken into account some of those different tolerances to the effect that we thought that things were going to be in there. So we're doing some more model adjustments, being able to do some final little bits in there to make sure that we've got tolerances in those plastics so that those magnet snap nice and tight in everybody's different vehicles. So that's the last little adjustments we're doing. Literally have the printer rolling away here, being able to do some of the different prototype prints to basically validate what we think needs to happen on the adjustments. Once we get those validations done, we'll apply it to the model and then we can get our test fitting done. So I'm hoping we can turn that around really quickly. It's just printers take hours and hours and hours and hours to be able to print new plastics for us to be able to try to do those prints. So we've been holding off making the orders from Shapeways for the front pieces of those pre-orders just because we want to make sure that we've done the test fit in the car on those ones, that they fit perfectly before we make those orders happen. So please stick with us. We've got a couple final adjustments. We're trying to get it perfect for you guys before we ship those out and get them manufactured. So we will keep everybody updated on each of those, and we'll be in contact with our community members again to be able to see if we can schedule something to do those final test fittings. So that's what's going on there. So as far as the Mark 1.5 electronics that go with all those kits, we're in full production. Alex is putting together wiring harnesses, putting together the electronics, printing all the different boxes, getting all those things ready to go so that we are stacked and ready to go whenever those plastics come back in from Shapeways across any of the different kits. So we're taking that time of where Shapeway takes a bit of a turnaround, and as we're doing these adjustments to get all of those electronics and those kits all set to go. So those are the things that are going on from the pre-orders and the orders from the Mark II perspective. We've had a bunch of people asking us from the Genesis side of things where we sit on that. We're still working through how we're going to get the tablet to work. The newer tablet had a different port on it. Rob and I and Gerald are going through some different things on how we can make that go. So it's kind of separate to the being able to do the electronics behind there. So doing the electronics and then we've got the plastics, they're kind of two separate streams. So one of the things that we're going to be making sure that we can try to do is being able to get those plastics moving along. So we might open up some pre-orders to see if we can kind of move that ahead faster. So we're a small company. We don't have all sorts of funding to be able to fund new projects. So we might need to be able to open up some pre-orders on those. We've got a general idea of what their cost might be compared to some of the other kits that we've done to see if we can kind of accelerate the work and our outside third-party contracting to move that forward. So stay tuned on those topics for the Genesis folks. Same thing goes for the 2015 and up WRX STI. We might do the same thing to try to accelerate those, and also maybe for the G37, G35 guys. So we're starting off with the G37. We're starting to do some renderings. So we're going to do some different ways that we can take a look at how the plastics might fit, how we might deal with the different seam lines for being able to get the tablet holder and the faceplate on and off with our magnets, going through a few different revisions that we can share back to the community to get your feedback into what you like and what you don't like, and seeing how we can make those different things go. So the other thing, same thing, we got a separate stream for the electronics for those cars. Cool thing is that they use the same protocols across CAN bus for climate control as the the 370Z or Z. So those climate controls, we actually have somebody that can beta some of that stuff for us. So we've been working on that. So we've got a separate stream going on there too. So we got a lot of things going on. We're trying to land everything on its feet. We've also been getting close to being able to make the relay accessory available. Been posting some things on working on some of the enclosure and housings for those plastics. So lots on the go, trying to keep you guys updated and seeing if we can get you guys stuff as quickly as possible. So thanks a lot for joining, and we will keep you posted on any new updates that we have.